Did you know that what you eat before bed, especially after age 65, could quietly push your heart into danger while you sleep? I know that sounds dramatic, but it's not a scare tactic. It's a reality that's taken too many lives, including that of Mr. Raymond, a 76-year-old retired firefighter from Ohio. He spent his golden years doing all the right things: daily walks, laughter with his grandkids, even salsa dancing every Sunday. But one simple habit undid it all: his bedtime snack. A snack he thought was healthy. One peaceful night, he went to bed and never woke up. His heart gave out while he slept, triggered by a silent storm happening in his arteries, all because of what he ate just 2 hours earlier. What if I told you that food, right now, sitting in your kitchen, could be putting you or your loved ones at risk tonight? In this video, I'm going to reveal 8 foods that every senior should absolutely avoid before bedtime, including a common, healthy option at number 3 that doctors now link directly to nighttime heart attacks. This knowledge could save a life, maybe even yours. So stay with me for the next few minutes, and before we begin, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. This channel is here to protect your health and your independence, and your support helps me keep sharing life-saving tips like these. Ready to uncover the foods that could be silently stealing your sleep and your life? Let's begin. 1. Processed cheese and high-sodium dairy. Did you know that just one slice of processed cheese can contain more sodium than a small bag of potato chips? That's a surprising fact, especially when you consider how many older adults enjoy a few slices of cheese before bed as a light snack. But here's the problem. What seems like a harmless indulgence might be quietly setting you up for serious heart trouble while you sleep. Processed cheese is often loaded with sodium and saturated fats, two of the biggest enemies of cardiovascular health, especially after age 65. According to Dr. Richard Stein, a senior cardiologist affiliated with the American Heart Association, the combination of sodium and saturated fat in processed dairy products can elevate nighttime blood pressure and contribute to fluid retention, which places added stress on the heart during its most vulnerable hours. During sleep, our bodies naturally lower blood pressure to allow the heart to rest. But when you consume high-sodium foods like processed cheese in the evening, you disrupt this delicate process. The kidneys work overtime to flush out the excess salt, which can cause fluid to pool in the lungs or around the heart, leading to shortness of breath, restless sleep, or even cardiac episodes that strike in the middle of the night. The science is clear. Seniors have less efficient sodium regulation than younger adults. As we age, our blood vessels become stiffer and our kidney function declines slightly, making it harder for the body to manage sudden spikes in salt intake. That's why salty snacks before bed can be particularly risky for older adults. And cheese is often the sneaky culprit because it's not always perceived as unhealthy. So what can you do instead? If you enjoy having a bedtime snack, choose options that are heart-healthy and won't interfere with your body's overnight recovery process. A small handful of unsalted almonds or walnuts provides magnesium, which helps regulate blood pressure and promotes relaxation. Or opt for a slice of fresh mozzarella, not the rubbery kind wrapped in plastic, but real low-sodium mozzarella made with minimal processing. It gives you the creamy satisfaction of cheese without flooding your system with salt and fat. Remember, good health in your golden years isn't just about what you eat. It's also about when you eat it. Choosing the right foods before bed can help protect your heart, improve your sleep, and ensure you wake up feeling refreshed and, most importantly, alive. 2. High-sugar cereals and desserts. Did you know that eating sugary cereal or dessert before bed could silently trigger a heart emergency while you sleep? It's a habit many seniors don't think twice about. A cookie after dinner, a small bowl of sweetened cereal, maybe even a slice of pie to end the evening. But for people over 65, that seemingly innocent treat could be causing dramatic spikes and crashes in blood sugar that stress the heart at the exact time when it should be resting. Sleep is meant to be a time for healing, a period when your body resets and recovers. But when high-sugar foods are eaten in the evening, the body's natural balance is thrown into chaos. According to Dr. Varen Summers, a lead researcher at the Mayo Clinic Sleep Center, the nighttime hours are already when seniors are most vulnerable to cardiac events. Adding blood sugar spikes from evening sweets creates additional stress that can trigger fatal arrhythmias. This isn't just about diabetes. It's about the entire cardiovascular system becoming unstable from the roller coaster ride that sugar sends your body on while you sleep. Take the story of Margaret, a 70-year-old grandmother from California who had no idea her bedtime habits were putting her heart in danger. Every night, she ended her day with a small serving of her favorite frosted cereal, a comforting ritual she'd enjoyed since childhood. But when her doctor recommended a continuous glucose monitor to investigate her recent fatigue and nighttime palpitations, the results were shocking. Within 45 minutes of her evening snack, her blood sugar surged to levels comparable to someone with uncontrolled diabetes. Then, around 3 a.m., her glucose would drop sharply, so low it triggered adrenaline spikes and elevated her heart rate, disrupting her sleep and straining her cardiovascular system. Margaret was stunned. She thought she was just indulging a little sweet tooth. But in reality, she was unknowingly creating a nightly stress test for her heart. The issue here isn't just the sugar, it's how the aging body processes it. As we get older, insulin sensitivity decreases, and our ability to manage rapid glucose changes declines. This means sugar spikes hit harder and recover slower. For seniors, this fluctuation doesn't just affect energy levels or mood. It can increase the risk of nighttime strokes, arrhythmias, and even sudden cardiac events. But there's good news. With a simple switch, you can avoid this risk and still enjoy an evening snack. Instead of reaching for processed sweets or sugary cereals, try a small apple paired with a spoonful of almond butter. This combination offers natural fiber, slow-digesting carbohydrates, and healthy fats that keep your blood sugar steady through the night. It satisfies your cravings without putting your heart on a roller coaster. Making this one small change can protect your health in a big way. Sleep should be safe place, not a time when your body is battling sugar-induced chaos. So the next time you think about grabbing that cookie or sweetened cereal before bed, pause and ask yourself, is it worth risking your heart for a moment of sweetness? Choose stability, choose peace, choose to wake up tomorrow feeling safe and strong. 3. Processed meats. Did you know that the processed meat in your refrigerator, like bacon, salami, or hot dogs, could quietly become the trigger for a deadly heart attack while you sleep? It might sound extreme, but recent findings from cardiologists at top institutions are painting a much more serious picture of what these common foods can do to the aging body, especially at night. Processed meats may seem like a convenient, protein-packed snack, but for seniors, they come with hidden dangers that most people never suspect. As we age, our cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive to inflammation and chemical stress. That's where nitrates come in, chemical compounds used to preserve and flavor processed meats. According to Dr. Michael Miller, director of the Center for Preventive Cardiology at the University of Maryland Medical Center, these nitrates are metabolized into nitrosamines inside the body. Nitrosamines are highly reactive compounds known to promote oxidative stress, inflame blood vessels, and damage the delicate lining of the heart and arteries. This inflammatory cascade can spike during nighttime hours, when the body's ability to regulate blood pressure and inflammation naturally slows down, leaving seniors particularly vulnerable. These biochemical changes aren't just theoretical. Hospitals are seeing the real-world consequences. A recent case from New Jersey involved an active 74-year-old man named Howard who prided himself on keeping a Mediterranean-inspired diet during the day, but had a guilty pleasure: late-night hot dogs. He liked to unwind with a small plate of sliced sausage and pickles while watching sports before heading to bed. One evening, after a seemingly ordinary day, Howard didn't wake up. An autopsy revealed elevated nitrate levels and heart tissue damage, consistent with a sudden cardiac event. His doctors believed that the nitrates from the processed meat contributed significantly to the inflammatory stress that triggered his heart to fail during his deepest sleep phase. What makes this even more concerning is how common this habit is among seniors. Processed meats are marketed as convenient, tasty, and satisfying, perfect for a bedtime nibble. But for individuals over 65, who may already have some degree of plaque buildup in their arteries, the nightly dose of nitrates and sodium is like lighting a slow-burning fuse. These substances constrict blood vessels, raise blood pressure, and increase oxidative damage, all of which place strain on the heart at a time when it's supposed to be recovering and slowing down. The good news is that there are safer and more nourishing alternatives for those who want a satisfying evening snack without the risks. Instead of reaching for bacon or deli meats, consider a hard-boiled egg or a few slices of plain, unseasoned baked chicken. These options provide clean protein without the chemical additives and won't disrupt your body's overnight healing processes. They're gentle on your cardiovascular system, easy to digest, and supportive of restful sleep. Your bedtime snack should nourish and protect you, not endanger your life. So tonight, before you grab that slice of salami or heat up a leftover hot dog, pause and think about what your heart is going through while you rest. Swapping out processed meats for wholesome proteins is one of the simplest, most powerful ways you can reduce your risk of nighttime cardiac events. Your future self and your family will thank you for choosing health over habit, because sometimes the smallest changes lead to the biggest difference. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 4. Spicy foods. Are you unknowingly increasing acid in your stomach for up to 5 hours after eating spicy foods? That means if you're enjoying a spicy dinner too close to bedtime, you could be setting your body up for a health emergency while you sleep. While many people think of spicy food as just a matter of taste or tolerance, the science tells a deeper story, one that every adult over 65 should hear. As we age, the muscles around the esophagus and stomach tend to weaken, making it easier for acid to flow back up into the chest during sleep, especially when lying flat. Spicy foods, such as chili peppers, hot sauces, and heavily seasoned meals, can worsen this by irritating the lining of the digestive tract and stimulating excessive acid production. Dr. Anil Rusky, chief of gastroenterology at Columbia University, explains, spicy meals before bed can cause acid reflux severe enough to mimic heart attack symptoms. In some cases, the reflux triggers the vagus nerve, creating a cascade of stress responses that strain the cardiovascular system, especially dangerous for older adults. This risk is not theoretical. Many seniors have reported waking up in the middle of the night with sudden chest pain, shortness of breath, and intense pressure in their chest, only to discover in the ER that it was severe acid reflux, not a heart attack. This time. But repeated inflammation like this isn't benign. Chronic reflux irritates not just the esophagus, but it can also indirectly place continuous stress on the heart through nerve stimulation and inflammation, increasing the chances of an actual cardiac event over time. The good news? This is entirely preventable. One simple lifestyle shift can make a world of difference. Avoid spicy foods for at least 3 hours before bedtime. If you're someone who enjoys flavorful meals, don't worry. Flavor doesn't have to mean fire. Try replacing hot spices with gentle herbs like oregano, thyme, or basil, which enhance taste without irritating the stomach lining. Your evening meals should nourish and settle you, not leave you waking up in panic or pain. Choosing mild, soothing foods instead of spicy, acidic ones gives your body the chance to rest, recover, and keep your heart safe during its most vulnerable hours. Make this change tonight. Your heart and stomach will thank you for it. 5. Alcoholic beverages. Are you unknowingly putting your heart under serious strain each time you sip that relaxing glass of wine before bed? For many seniors, an evening drink feels like a simple pleasure, a way to wind down, soften the edges of a long day, or ease into sleep. But what if that quiet ritual is silently disrupting your breathing, starving your body of oxygen, and increasing your risk of heart failure or stroke while you sleep? Research from the Stanford Sleep Medicine Center has revealed a disturbing link between alcohol consumption and nighttime oxygen levels in older adults. According to Dr. Raphael Pilo, clinical professor at Stanford, alcohol before bed relaxes the muscles of the upper airway, leading to partial airway collapse and significant drops in oxygen saturation, particularly during deep sleep stages. For seniors, whose bodies are already more sensitive to cardiovascular stress, this oxygen deprivation can place immense pressure on the heart. Over time, it becomes a hidden risk factor for arrhythmias, hypertension, and even sudden cardiac events during sleep. This reality became painfully clear for Barbara, a 69-year-old former nurse from Colorado who had always considered her nightly glass of red wine part of a healthy lifestyle. After all, moderate wine intake has often been associated with heart health. But Barbara began to notice her mornings were different. She felt more tired than refreshed and sometimes woke up with a pounding heart or shortness of breath. Her doctor recommended a sleep study, which uncovered a startling truth. Her oxygen levels were dropping below 85% dozens of times per night, especially on evenings when she drank alcohol. The occasional drink she once thought was harmless was actually intensifying her undiagnosed sleep apnea, a condition that silently affects a large number of older adults. Her heart had been working overtime, night after night, without her even realizing it. Sleep is the body's most critical recovery window. During deep sleep, your brain detoxifies, your cells repair, and most importantly, your heart rate slows, giving the cardiovascular system a much-needed rest. But alcohol hijacks this process. Instead of restful recovery, your body struggles to breathe, forcing your heart to beat harder to compensate for the lack of oxygen. Over time, this nightly stress adds up, raising the risk of high blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, and even fatal stroke. The good news is that there are safer and more effective ways to relax before bed that don't compromise your health. Tart cherry juice, for example, is rich in melatonin and has been shown to naturally improve sleep duration and quality. Chamomile tea is another excellent alternative. It calms the nervous system and promotes relaxation without disrupting your breathing or oxygen levels. Both of these options support your body's natural sleep cycles rather than working against them. Your nightly routine should be a source of healing, not harm. If you've been relying on alcohol as a sleep aid, it might be time to reconsider that habit. Not because you have to give up comfort, but because your body deserves better. You've worked hard for your health. Don't let a glass of wine undo that effort. Tonight, choose something that soothes not only your mind, but also protects your heart. You have the power to rest deeply, breathe freely, and wake up with energy and peace. And that is worth far more than any drink. 6. Caffeinated foods and beverages. Most people associate caffeine with mornings and productivity, but few realize just how long its effects linger, especially in the aging body. Caffeine doesn't just give you energy when you're awake, it can quietly affect your heart long after the buzz has worn off. In fact, research from the Harvard Medical School Sleep Laboratory shows that caffeine consumed even 6 hours before bedtime can elevate nighttime blood pressure and interfere with heart rate variability in older adults. For seniors, whose cardiovascular systems are already more sensitive, these disruptions can create the perfect storm for dangerous nighttime cardiac events. Dr. Charles Chisler, Chief of Sleep Medicine at Brigham and Women's Hospital, explains that caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours. This means that if you drink a cup of coffee at 6 p.m., half of that caffeine is still active in your bloodstream well into the early morning hours, right when your body is supposed to be resting and recovering. Instead of your heart slowing down and your blood pressure dropping, as it should during deep sleep, caffeine keeps your cardiovascular system stimulated. For someone in their 60s or 70s, this extra stimulation can be the tipping point between a restful night and a midnight health scare. For many, the culprit isn't always an obvious cup of coffee. Take the case of Edward, a 72-year-old from Michigan who had always considered himself health conscious. He avoided sugary desserts and heavy meals before bed, but he enjoyed a few squares of dark chocolate with his evening tea, a small indulgence that felt harmless. Over time, he began waking up in the middle of the night with a racing heart, feeling anxious for no clear reason. After a thorough checkup and a conversation with his doctor, the connection became clear. Those small pieces of dark chocolate were delivering a potent dose of caffeine and theobromine, both stimulants known to affect the heart. Once Edward eliminated that evening treat, his nighttime palpitations disappeared within days. It's not just coffee and chocolate. Many seniors are surprised to learn that certain teas, soft drinks, and even over-the-counter pain relievers can contain enough caffeine to interfere with sleep and heart rhythm. And because the body's ability to metabolize caffeine slows down with age, what might not have affected you at 40 can become a significant issue after 65. Even low doses of caffeine can lead to increased heart rate, reduced sleep quality, and elevated blood pressure when consumed too close to bedtime. The solution doesn't require giving up comfort. It's about making smarter swaps that support your body's natural rhythms. A warm cup of herbal tea like chamomile or rooibos offers relaxation without any caffeine. These options have been shown to calm the nervous system, ease digestion, and promote deeper sleep. A small banana is another excellent choice. Rich in magnesium and potassium, it helps relax blood vessels and muscles, encouraging more restful sleep and healthier blood pressure levels. What you choose to consume in the evening has a direct impact on how well your heart rests during the night. The goal isn't to live without small pleasures. It's to protect the decades of life and love you've worked so hard to build. So tonight, when the craving for a sweet bite or warm beverage hits, remember Edward's story and the science behind your body's need for rest. Replacing caffeine with calming, nourishing alternatives can safeguard your sleep and protect your heart in ways you might never have imagined. 7. High-fat fried foods. That comforting crunch of fried food at dinner may feel satisfying, but for your heart, it's a ticking time bomb that can quietly set off a dangerous chain reaction while you sleep. Behind the golden, crispy texture lies a flood of unhealthy fats that do more than just sit in your stomach. They ignite an internal fire that peaks during the most vulnerable hours of the night. According to research from the Cleveland Clinic, consuming high-fat, fried foods in the evening can elevate inflammatory markers in the bloodstream by up to 25% during sleep. This inflammation creates a perfect environment for plaque rupture in the arteries, a key trigger for heart attacks. Dr. Stephen Nissen, chairman of cardiovascular medicine at Cleveland Clinic, explains that the body's natural anti-inflammatory responses are lower at night. That means when you go to bed with a stomach full of fried chicken, French fries, or deep-fried snacks, your body is left defenseless against the damage caused by the lipid surge. The saturated and trans fats commonly found in these foods increase blood lipid levels, causing endothelial dysfunction and oxidative stress, two dangerous factors that heighten the risk of cardiac events during deep sleep. What makes this issue especially concerning for older adults is the aging heart's reduced capacity to handle inflammation. As we age, our arteries naturally become stiffer and more prone to blockages. A single fried meal before bed can significantly raise the risk of a nocturnal heart event by promoting the type of inflammation that makes plaque in the arteries unstable. When that plaque ruptures, it can block blood flow and lead to a heart attack, often during the early morning hours when emergency response time is slower and the warning signs may be missed. Fortunately, protecting your heart doesn't mean giving up all the flavors you love. Simple changes to your evening meals can make all the difference. Opt for baked or steamed dishes that are rich in heart-healthy fats, like olive oil, and incorporate vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. If you're craving something crispy, air-popped popcorn with minimal salt offers the texture without the risk. Your heart works hard to keep you going, especially as you sleep. Giving it the care it deserves with lighter, inflammation-friendly evening meals can help ensure you wake up feeling well, safe, and ready to enjoy another day with the people you love. It's a small shift with life-changing power. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting "Yes" below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 8. High-sodium packaged snacks. Those crunchy, salty snacks that feel so comforting at the end of a long day might be quietly working against your heart and brain while you sleep. Many seniors reach for a handful of chips, crackers, or packaged snack mixes in the evening, thinking it's a harmless treat. But the hidden sodium in these foods doesn't just affect your waistline. It can raise your blood pressure dramatically during the most vulnerable hours of the night, when your body is supposed to be resting and repairing. Researchers have highlighted the dangers of consuming high-sodium foods within 3 hours of bedtime, especially for older adults. As we age, the body's ability to regulate blood pressure weakens overnight. Adding a load of sodium at this time forces the heart and blood vessels to work harder just when they should be slowing down. Instead of getting the restorative benefits of sleep, the body enters a state of silent struggle, often marked by early morning blood pressure spikes that can increase the risk of stroke or heart attack. Evelyn, a 74-year-old from Oregon, had no history of heart issues, but began experiencing occasional dizziness and fatigue in the mornings. Her doctor recommended overnight blood pressure monitoring, and the results were startling. Between 2 and 4 a.m., her readings would climb sharply, levels high enough to warrant emergency attention. After reviewing her habits, they discovered her nightly snack of salted rice cakes and packaged cheese dip was the root cause. The sodium load, combined with her body's natural dip in nighttime blood pressure control, was creating the perfect storm. Once she replaced her evening snack with sliced cucumbers and a handful of unsalted almonds, her readings returned to normal within a week. Packaged snacks may be convenient, but they're often packed with more salt than you realize. Even those labeled as light or low fat can contain dangerously high sodium levels. The body doesn't need that extra stress, especially during sleep. Thankfully, there are satisfying and heart-safe alternatives that still offer the crunch and comfort you crave, like raw veggies, air-popped popcorn with no added salt, or a few slices of fruit. Taking care of your health doesn't mean giving up flavor or satisfaction. It means choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. Making a simple swap tonight could be the decision that protects your heart, your brain, and your peace of mind tomorrow morning. Now that you know the 8 dangerous foods to avoid before bed after age 65, the choice is in your hands, and it could be the most important one you make tonight. These aren't just diet tips. They're life-saving shifts that could mean the difference between waking up tomorrow with energy or not waking up at all. Especially number 3, processed meats, which have been directly linked to fatal heart attacks during sleep. You've worked too hard, lived through too much, and loved too deeply to let something as small as a snack steal your tomorrows. Make this the night you take control. Swap out danger for nourishment. Choose rest over risk. Your heart, your family, your future depends on it. If this message has opened your eyes or touched your heart, please hit the like button right now. And tell us in the comments, which of these foods are you saying goodbye to starting tonight? Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss critical health advice made just for seniors. And please, share this video with someone you love who's over 65. It could save their life starting tonight. Sleep safe, live strong. You deserve it.